On Tuesday night, President Trump will go before a joint session of Congress to deliver the State of the Union message. It's required by the United States Constitution, steeped in our history and tradition, and hyped by the media beyond all comprehension. I mean, every year there's talk about who's sitting with whom, and it sounds like a junior high prom. And this year, it, of course, is who's not attending. Who really cares? And for those who are, what are they wearing? Last year it was white, this year it was black. But for all the pre-game hoopla, it boils down to a very important moment for the president. And it is always the president's night. The trappings of presidential power are in full evidence with both houses of Congress, the Supreme Court, the cabinet, and all sorts of dignitaries in attendance to witness the annual delivery of the State of the Union message. And the State of the Union is in pretty good shape. In fact, it's strong, especially the economy, where the stock market continues to soar above 26,500 as we tape this. And although I've warned repeatedly that no administration is wise to tie its political fortunes to stock prices, there is a whole lot of other economic news that's just wonderful right now. Growth in virtually every sector of the economy, repatriation of billions of dollars, millions of Americans getting $1,000 plus bonuses, and virtually every working person getting a boost to their take-home pay as the tax cuts come online. It's a rising tide which truly is lifting all boats, something that the president has every right to brag about, and additionally, we'll get to this in a moment, the opportunity to lay forth an agenda which will continue the progress that he's making on the economic front. But things are pretty good in foreign policy too. ISIS caliphate has been shrunk dramatically. The world is safer today than it was a year ago, despite all of the hiccups around the globe. Even the president of Uganda this week, we heard a lot about what the African nations might be saying in response to President Trump, was saying President Trump is one of the best presidents America's ever had. Think about that. And so the other half of what is required by Article 2, Section 3 of the Constitution, in addition to telling Congress about the State of the Union, is the recommendations that the president will make to the Congress for their action during this session. And there's an opportunity for the president to lay out his agenda and to galvanize support for it, in effect rallying the troops behind his specific policy agenda. And there's a great opportunity there to suggest both policies of continued economic growth, both in regulatory policy and tax policy, and energy policy, another sector of the economy which is booming because of the actions of this administration. I think you'll also see the infrastructure piece addressed, which enjoys bipartisan support and is important to the country not only because of public safety, but equally because of economic development and economic growth. Knowing that goods and services can get to market safely and on time is very, very important to the economy and its stability. So there are a couple of things where the president has a real opportunity to make a stake. Finally, the tone will matter. President Trump's tone has to be unifying. He has to avoid the ad-libs, as he did last year in his non-State of the Union address to a joint session of Congress, because presidents don't make State of the Union addresses their first year in office. And he needs to do it in a happy, friendly, optimistic way. The American people ultimately are a hopeful people. They're an optimistic people, and an appeal to their better angels always works. So as you're laying out an agenda, to do it in a way that makes people hopeful about their future is politically very important to this administration, as it is to any. So come Tuesday night, I think you'll see all of those things. And on the eve of the Super Bowl, he'd do well to don a little Philadelphia Eagles garb. And that is the best 60-ish seconds of your week.